I'm Ruthie Polinsky alongside Cam Smith and Joshua Perry. And oh, look who it is, guys. Will Venable, the new White Sox manager, is joining us live here on set, coming to you from the United Center. Well, how about this atmosphere? This is pretty fun, right? The United Center, our new Chicago Sports Network studios.
No doubt. Amazing. Super happy to be here.
We want to remind you really quick that we are counting down to 2 games here on the Chicago Sports Network. The Blackhawks are going to be playing on CHSN tonight, and the Bulls will be playing on CHSN+. All right, Will, so you've been the manager for about a week now. Talk us through this whirlwind and how you're feeling in this moment.
Yeah, excited, happy to be here. There's been a lot going on, a lot of phone calls, a lot of reading reports, meeting new people, and trying to get caught up to speed.
All right, you were down in San Antonio for the GM meetings. What do you think was the most productive thing that you accomplished down there?
Yeah, just getting up to speed with our front office, kind of collaborating on some ideas with some staff. We got a lot of work to do to add some to our staff and trying to figure out how we're going to get better. So a lot of productive conversations.
Yeah, speaking of getting, things in place for the work that you guys have ahead of you all, what are the long-term plans for this group, especially when you think about year 1 and year 2 with you, because this organization, this team is in the middle of a transition period?
Yeah, I think it's a really big year for us to just continue to build the foundation, right, and build our culture and develop a winning culture and all the things that we know that are important to that. So it starts with the people and just getting together and getting on the same page and just building step by step.
Yeah, obviously your stops in the MLB coaching-wise, you were in Chicago, you spent time, of course, in Texas under Bruce Bochy and winning a World Series there. So that championship DNA, what do you look to bring from that Rangers organization to the White Sox and really make it your own so that the White Sox can thrive?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. It's the kind of environment that that brings the best out of players. It's the communication skills. It's the way you go about your training before the day, the way that you go about your messaging. And there's just something on every step along the way that I learned from Boch and hope to apply it to the White Sox.
Now, I know you're not supposed to necessarily have a favorite child, right? But as you look at your roster, which player are you most excited to work with?
Yeah, you're right. All of these guys, and really want to get to know all of them. I have a feeling that I'm going to have some good relationships with all of them. Have talked to a couple on the phone. So excited. Don't have a favorite yet, but we'll see if we can get there.
All right, enough of this baseball talk. Let's talk about the Bulls game, because that's the reason you're here tonight. And I know you're familiar with this city and what sports means to this city. But I got to ask you, are you excited to see Benny the Bull, and do you think he will spill popcorn on you?
Well, my girls are here with me, and they'll be very excited to see Benny the Bull.
Okay.
So we'll be on the lookout and hopefully run into him. And if he spills some popcorn, then that's great.
Are you a Bulls fan now?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay,
no doubt.
all right.
Nice.
Of course.
Will this be you tonight, like
there
right in the top row there?
Look.
We got to have you have that space there.
I love it. Yeah,
Nice.
I'll be there. It'd be a pleasure.
Definitely a lot of slow-mo there.
Yeah.
Now, when you think about just like this Bulls organization, and of course you have history when it comes to playing the game of basketball. You played at Princeton, and you have some game for people out there that don't realize this. So multi-sport athlete, all Ivy in both baseball, basketball. How would you describe your skills on the court?
Well, non-existent now, I can tell you that.
I don't believe it.
No.
I think the jumper never leaves. The jumper never leaves if you have the jumper.
Yeah, well, the jumper was never there. I was more of a slasher. Took pride in my defense and getting the ball to the basket. But yeah, the outside shooting was not my strong suit.
All right, so let me ask you this question. Let's go back to the year 2005, and let's say you're playing against Southern Illinois. You see a sophomore named Cam Smith out there checking into the game. Do you think you can lock him up?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, Will, come on, man.
I'm not backing away from the challenge.
You know what? He played at Princeton, so I do not doubt that, because we know that Princeton for sure, great basketball history. You know this because you played in that program. But we might have to check ball, Will. Me and you one-on-one at some point. Maybe we can do it out on the United Center court. So look at those numbers your senior year at Princeton. All Ivy League on the court. So if people out there think that it's sweet, it's not, because you got game, Will.
There might have been a time where I was all right out there, but that time has definitely passed.
What was the best aspect of your game on the court?
Yeah, I think getting the ball to the basket, really, that's something that I always took pride in and was good at. And I wanted to play good defense, too. So those 2 areas for sure.
Man, JP, you creating chaos right now, man.
Now I
got to get back in the lab, man, because I get ready to play
You
Will
two
one-on-one.
got something I don't. I don't have any basketball skills. So I just wanted to see what the matchup would be like.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot here because you know how people play the game, name a random baseball player, and you see how long you can go? Could you name us a random bull?
Zach Levine?
That's not
Nice,
random,
okay.
but that's
But it
okay.
qualifies,
All
I
right, we'll
guess,
take
yeah.
it. We'll take it. We'll take it. That was good. That was a good one.
All right, we should go back and forth with that. Maybe we can try and see who stops first.
It's going to be
It's going to be you?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
I
going to
told you I'm not a historian. It's the thing that we talked about earlier today.
Okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
go back into the chess. How
Okay.
about Jalen Rose, former Bull player?
Yeah.
So
Okay,
how about that?
that's
So
a good one.
Yeah, so
That's
a lot
good
of options
one.
there.
I guess Michael Jordan doesn't count, no?
It counts, but it's like a cheat
Okay.
code, too.
Steve Kerr, one of my favorites.
Nice. I love that. I love that.
All right. So, Will, baseball players, I think a lot of professional athletes and coaches have these sort of like photographic memories, right? Okay. Is there a moment or something from your career as either a coach or a player that comes to mind? It's just a moment that kind of symbolizes your career.
Yeah, for sure. When I got called up to the big leagues, my dad was my coach, my hitting coach in AAA, and he was the person that tapped me on the shoulder to bring me to the manager's office and was there to tell me I had gotten called to the big leagues. So that's like the defining moment for me that I always remember.
Nice. Now, speaking of that memory, Will, you played 3 games at Guaranteed Rate Field. Do you remember what you did in those games? Because I have a cheat code right here in my notes. I just want to see if you remember how you did.
I remember there was a couple hits in there. I also remember there was a couple strikeouts against Chris Sale, which I'll never forget because that was a big deal to be able to face him. So I think there was some good and some bad mixed in there.
No, I think it was more good. 4 of 6, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. So
Let's go.
very nice numbers. Yeah, I love that.
We'll take it.
You mentioned your dad and the fact that he coached you. Like, how impactful is that relationship on your career?
Yeah, it meant everything. He's instilled in me all the values that I carry with me today. He taught me the game. He taught me how to be a good human being, and just someone that's meant everything in my life for me.
All right, Will, we got to tap into the people because we have some fan questions awaiting you. So let's get to the first one coming from Peacock Drew. And Peacock Drew asked this question for you, Will. What kind of approach or qualities do you want from the hitters in your White Sox lineup?
Yeah, I think we want to have an aggressive mentality. Obviously every kind of hitter wants to control the zone, but I think we need to be focused on fastballs too. I think our performance against the fastball is important, and for everybody in this league, and it's getting tougher and tougher with some of the velocity that these guys are throwing out there. So yeah, we want to have aggressive mentality to the fastball.
All right, well, this one's from Johnny Book. He asks, how do you balance the use of analytics but also feel for the game?
Yeah, I think that decisions should be, based on objectivity, but then you also have to layer in, where are players at, what's the situation, and we know that analytics aren't the whole story, so you have to layer those other things on top of it too.
All right, this question's from Bald Head Crochet. How aggressive
That's
do you
an interesting name.
That's a good one. How aggressive do you desire the White Sox to be on the base paths?
I think as aggressive as the situation requires, I think you don't want to be overly aggressive, but there's certainly times where you want to push it and take advantage of opportunities and put pressure on the defense. So aggressive in the right way.
All right, this one's from Hawkwood Sox. What number are you going to wear?
Ooh.
I got number 1.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, a little
nice.
outside the box, not something that I've worn before, but we had a few numbers to pick from, and my girls helped me pick out number 1, so that's what we're rolling
Oh,
with.
that's cool.
And
I
the
like
significance for you choosing number 1. I mean, beyond some reasons that people will come to mind with.
Just that my girls picked it.
Nice. I love that. I love that.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's great.
Family
That's
atmosphere.
great.
You can't be mad at that. All right, let's finish it up with Have Fun Charles with this question. What is the standard that you will set each day? And also, when will it begin?
Starts from day one. I mean, these guys are already in the off-season competing, working hard, and putting forth the effort that we need to be better. And so that's the standard that these guys have already set and will continue to set and hold each other accountable to.
Will Venable, we are so excited to have you here in Chicago, the manager of the Chicago White Sox. Thanks for joining us here on set for the Chicago Lead. We so appreciate your time.